Alright, first and foremost, I want to say Kalalali Abashim Yoshai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Stone, and salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. Just a little while ago, we did a video on having renowned to your name, and now we're just going to do a follow-up video. Basically, three of the main characteristics that a man of the Lord is supposed to have as an attribute to his character, right? So that those things, basically, when you have those things as the foundation, those attributes as the foundation, they're basically being built up and rooted in becoming a more stable force in this world, so and to be a better representative of the Heavenly Father. And those three characteristics we're going to get into, but they are: number one, fear. And the scriptures are going into details as reasons you are supposed to have fear and what fear leads to. The second is discipline, and the third is faith. You understand? And we're going to get an example of the reason why you're supposed to fear. I'm going to it, man. See? God's will, this video isn't a very short video, but it's a very short video, but nevertheless, going according to the Spirit, you know? Remember?
This is Job chapter 28, verse 28. And unto man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Exactly. So the fear of the Lord is wisdom, man. See, in the scripture tell us how wisdom is more precious than rubies, man. See? So the fear of the Lord is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So once you have the fear of the Lord, you're going to know that through the fear of the Lord, you're going to be stable in having wisdom, you know? See? So that is a foundation. See? The scripture also tells us the fear of the Lord is the first step as to be accepted by Him. Right? Remember?
This is good. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. Say, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Exactly. You can get that one day in a Proverbs chapter 8. You know what matter? More precious than rubies. Proverbs 8. Yes, it exactly. Proverbs 8 and 12. Start at 10.
This is Proverbs chapter 8 verse 10. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Exactly. Wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that are to be desired are not to be compared to it. So when wisdom is, the fear of the Lord lead to wisdom, so wisdom is better than rubies, and everything that is to be desired is not to be compared to it, man. Because when you have that, you're going to have a firm stability within this life. See, you're going to know the true balance and the true integrity that you're supposed to have as a man of the Lord, yo. You see me? One, bro?
Wisdom dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of with invention.
So wisdom dwell with prudence. So you can foresee certain happenings in this time and how to order yourself in like mind, man. You see me? You can get that next precept there. Proverbs.
Oh, the one in the
Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 9 verse 9. Proverbs 9 verse 9. It said, give instructions to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
Exactly. So when you have the scriptures and you have the knowledge of wisdom, man, then you depart from evil. So that is supposed to give us instructions to make us wiser, man. You see me? And if you teach a just man, we're increasing learning. So we are increasing learning in the truth of the Heavenly Father. You understand? And with that, how we do that, man? From fear, we have fear first, but next we have to have discipline within ourselves, so to exemplify these characteristics, man. Because the fear of the Lord ultimately leads to discipline. You can get me Wisdom of Solomon chapter.
Let me just finish this real quick. Verse 10. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
Exactly. We can get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 11. See?
So Wisdom of Solomon 6 verse 11.
Yeah.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 11. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and the ear shall be instructed.
Exactly. So you have to set your affections upon the word of the Heavenly Father. Desire them and it shall be instructed. And it's not a thing that you're supposed to just desire. It's not a thing that you're just supposed to just read, man. Zin, and just have it in your mind, but a thing that you're supposed to basically become. Zin, mold yourself and shape yourself into the fashion of the word, man. Make the word breathe and speak through you. Let the things that you do be in accordance with the word, yo. Right? Remember? Yeah.
Verse 12. Wisdom is glorious and never fade away. Yea.
Fade it or feel it?
Fade it.
Exactly. Wisdom is glorious and never fade it away, man. See? With that, as we said before, you're going to be able to stand firm. Everything that you go forth in this life, you have to have counsel of wisdom. The scripture also tells us you're supposed to have wise counsel. You know, you're supposed to maneuver yourself, man. You see me? And that's one of the ways or you harden yourself in being blameless and spotless in the eyes of the Heavenly Father and in the eyes of men. So that you don't be chargeable unto them. Right? Remember?
Listen, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her.
Exactly. So when you seek her, you're going to find her, man. See? She's easily seen of them that love her. So when you maneuver yourself in this life, it's supposed to be exemplified that you have the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai speaks through your action. You see me? There are certain actions within the scriptures that the scriptures instructed to do, and you're not supposed to fail to do them, man. The scripture instructed to be diligent. It's instructed to not to be a sluggard. See? It instructed to have integrity. When you say something, you do it, man. See? Hold firm to your word. Not to be failing on your word, man. You see me? Those are things that you're supposed to try to exemplify within the spirit of wisdom. You see? You're not supposed to be basically be a busybody, a beggar, you see? A sluggard. All those things are examples that the wisdom of the Heavenly Father is against. You see me? And you execute all things in the balance and wait in the balance of wisdom. You know? The scripture says, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Right? Remember?
Verse 13. It says, she prevented them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail.
Exactly.
For he shall find her sitting at his doors.
And first wisdom of a try, man. Scripture tells us it have a leader by a crooked path that it may trust the soul. See me? To see if you're worthy of her. So that is what you do. You lead yourself worthy within the scripture, within the path of the Heavenly Father. And with that, you're going to have your name are going to be renowned, yo. You're basically going to look upon in generations to come as a man of renown, a man of fame, because you hold firm unto the disciplines that the scriptures present unto you. And a perfect example of that in the book of the Maccabees with Eleazar, man. You see me? Him hold firm and stiffly and straightly for the discipline that the scriptures present unto him, the laws that the scriptures present unto him, to make himself a man. Not only a man, but a righteous man of the Heavenly Father. You see me? And the scriptures in the same chapter, it will tell you that with that you have to be coupled with discipline. But as the brother will get the example with Eleazar, we'll just get the example first and then go back in the syrup. Remember? You have it?
Which part you say the one from?
I want it from the part when basically I say him stand stiffly for the law because him rather fear the Heavenly Father than man.
Okay.
Fine.
Alright, so I'm going to start at verse 26. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 26. For though through the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Exactly. So him realized him now escape the hand of the Almighty, because what was happening at the time, they wanted him to basically consume pork, you see, which swine's flesh is against the laws of the Heavenly Father. But him rather to escape the hands of men, you see, through death, than to escape the hands of the Heavenly Father, because the hands of the Heavenly Father are more terrible and greater than men. So that is an exemplification of true fear that he had. And with that fear, he exercised wisdom, because with that he showed that his name is will live on forever. But him not gonna be in this present, him not gonna be steadfast in the present flesh. Just we have the taste, the love of life just for a little moment. But why not die for righteousness' sake and have your name live on forever, and to be an example unto us which is to come? You see? This is the position that following and exemplifying wisdom put you in, man. It make you be a leader. You see? It build the spirit to be a leader even in death, man. Because in death is basically his example is a forerunner as to how we are to be in this life, yo. Remember?
Verse 30. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, It is manifest unto the Lord that had the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in my body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him.
Exactly, because in fear the Heavenly Father, in basically suffer to be content with the sufferation that is in the present, because in fear the Heavenly Father, and with that him have a glorious and renowned name. You see me? And he is an example and name to be exemplified unto us that is in this generation and in generations to come. You see me? And going back with that now.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 down the verse 15. It said, To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care, for she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For a very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
Very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. So you have to rule your flesh, man. See? And when you rule your flesh, you're not going to listen to the comfort of the flesh. But the scripture tells us she meet him in all his thoughts. So when you follow after this, it says it try him to see if you're going to follow the path, yo. And after that, you're not going to have much care, because what? You'll know how to follow the instructions, man. You're not going to be presumptuous and do things according to your own mind, but you're going to do things according to the instructions of wisdom. And that is where you order your steps, man. You order your steps are right. You see? When you follow after the ways of how they instruct you, and not to be submitted to the comforts of the flesh. You see? Because the comforts of the flesh is destruction. The comforts of the flesh lead unto death. The scripture tells us to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life. Right? And how you be spiritually minded? You be spiritually minded in ruling the flesh by the Spirit, man. You order the flesh by the Spirit. You see? And it basically discipline go back to being chaste. You see? You have something for me, bro?
No, sir, it's just something. It said, and the care of discipline is love.
And the care of discipline is love. You see me? And the scripture tells us love is what? Love is the fulfilling of the law. So it come back full circle to show you that you have to follow after the law, man. And the law is what makes you a righteous man. Not only the law, but also coupled with faith. You see me?
This is Proverbs chapter 4 verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my saying, and the years of thy life shall be many.
Exactly, you see me? And that's straight and to the point. And also with that, you have to have faith, man. You see me? Faith is what keep you grounded. Scripture tells you, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you have faith, you're going to see that when you trust in the ways of the Heavenly Father, your ways are going to be established in all righteousness, man. And with that, you're going to be blameless and perfect, man. See? Perfect as how perfect can be in this present life. Not saying you're going to be crystal pristine, but you're going to be a man of a righteous character in which your name are going to be exemplified in this life. You're going to be a true leader, man. See? You're going to be a true leader. And you're going to be a wise judge. And the scripture tells us, yo, don't, when you have something? You want to read where you read first and then get James 1 and 5.
Let's get James 1 and 5.
Okay. See, because when you notice that when fear lead to wisdom. See, fear of the Lord, not the fear of men. You see? Because the fear of the Lord reigns supreme. Fear lead to wisdom. Wisdom, the want of wisdom, you have to lead unto discipline. See me? And coupled with that, you have to have faith. Because without faith, you basically do things without knowing that it's going to come to pass. I mean, you're going to do things of a doubtful mindset.
I believe in talking to pass. As the scriptures Paul says, in the fight as one that fight at the year or beat at the year. You see it beating and hope you believe say that come to pass. You want to know?
Yeah, man.
James chapter 1 verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Exactly. So you know the gift of wisdom is from the wisdom the gift of wisdom is from the Heavenly Father. You see, so you're supposed to ask, and He will give it unto you liberally. See, continue.
Yes, sir. But let him ask in faith.
Let him ask in faith.
Not wavering.
Not wavering. So you're not supposed to have a doubtful mind, yo. You're not supposed to have a doubtful mind. The scripture tells you in Mark chapter 9 verse 23 tells us say all things are possible unto him that believe me. See, once you believe in the Heavenly Father and you truly have the fear of the Heavenly Father coupled with discipline, see me, you're not supposed to have a wavering mindset of the possibilities and the capabilities that is present within the powers of the Heavenly Father, man. You see, Paul was a perfect example. You see, Paul tells us say, yo, him know all things. But not because him know, means say him supposed to, because of infirmities, him not boast himself higher than him supposed to be. You see me? But him they have faith. Him know say all things were possible, but him suffer that to be so that him remain humble, so that him basically push forth mainly the word of the Heavenly Father, and he suffer we have instructions as how to be in this time, man. You see me? Through all faith, yo. So you have to have faith in this life, yo, to completely exemplify what the instructions of the Heavenly Father go forward and tell you to do. Continue, bro.
Therefore he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Exactly. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, yo. So once you have a thought that is scripture telling in Philippians chapter 4, I think of verse 8, whatsoever things are something. You know what I mean? Huh? No, that's verse 3, but Philippians chapter 4 showing you that you're not supposed to have a double-minded, but the things that you're supposed to think upon. See?
4, is it?
Yeah. When you get 4, we'll see. 4 verse. Those things which you have done, verse 8. Final brethren, yeah, verse 8. Philippians 4 verse 8.
Alright, Philippians 4 verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think upon these things.
Exactly. So you're supposed to constrain your mind to think upon these things, as where Paul tell you, man. Zine, whatsoever things are lawful, judge, virtuous, man. Think on these things, man, in all faith. You're not supposed to move to the left nor to the right from that guideline as how your mindset's supposed to be, man. See me? Zine, and I think the point was proven. If you have anything else, bro.
Let's have this in Proverbs.
What?
Proverbs 1 verse, let's start at verse 1 and we go down to verse 7. He said, Proverbs 1 verse 1, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instructions, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instructions of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. To wisdom and to understand a proverb and interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instructions.
Exactly, man. So if you go apart from the ways of the Heavenly Father, man, you're a fool. See, fool despise wisdom and knowledge.
Okay, son.
Remember?
This is Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And the commandments, as the scripture says in Deuteronomy chapter 4, here, we say what this is your wisdom. Right?
God, see me? Exactly, man.
And the discipline not be the fact that you keep it. It's the action. The discipline not be the action.
And the fear to that be the fact, say, yo, you know, say, yo, once you maintain the ways within the ways of the Heavenly Father, whatever the scripture tell us, say, yo, who is a father that a son asks it of a
fish and give him a serpent.
Give him a serpent, yo.
Or bread and give him a stone.
Exactly. So you know, say, yo, once you stand firmly for the discipline that is presented within the instructions of the Heavenly Father, man, whatsoever thing that you believe in righteousness will come to pass, man. And within this time, we believe in righteousness that, number one, the Most High now, the scripture tell us, say, yo, you never see him servant suffer nor begging bread. See? No say yo, him will keep we firm, keep we stable. You see me? You know, say yo, if we stand firmly for his instructions, in all faith and diligence, we know, say yo, we are going to get the kingdom, man, because that are the map, that are the guideline, the walk towards the kingdom. You see me? And you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Hey, with that, I hope this lesson was edifying, in all righteousness. I hope the character will be built from there, and from those foundation, you build a character into a righteous man. Zin is always a working process, working on your sinful flesh. Zin, but those are, as the scripture tells us, say, yo, have fear of the Lord and follow the commandments of the Lord, man, in all faith. See me? And with that, I hope that this was edifying. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Kalalal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Bashem Harakadash. Zin, the blindness to the elders and apostles of Great Stone, and salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in sincerity and in truth, man. Shalom.
Shalom.